Welcome, thank you for visiting the Safety Buddy. Today we will learn about the basic toolbox talks which need to be given to the operators or new employees relating to operational safety performance of your institutions. Let's start. Flammable atmospheres should be avoided in fixed roof tanks and decks of floating roof tanks with additional dome roof. Type of storage facility or tank for any liquid or chemical is determined by its true vapor pressure. Let's see true vapor pressure and what type of storage tank will be selected for storage. If true vapor pressure is less than 0.1 bar, then fixed cone roof tanks shall be selected. If true vapor pressure is between 0.1 to 0.77 bar, then floating roof tanks will be selected for storage, and if it is more than 0.77 bar, then low pressure storage tank is going to make to the selection. Sometimes flash point is also a deciding factor to select type of storage facility. For flash point, a flash point more than 55 degrees centigrade will make selection of fixed roof tank. If flash point is less than 55 degrees centigrade, the floating roof tank will be selected for storage to minimize vapor losses. True vapor pressure is the observed pressure in absolute units when a vapor is in equilibrium with its liquid at a constant temperature. When true vapor pressure is high, the evaporation rate is also very high. If exposed to atmosphere, there could be severe product loss and a flammable cloud may be formed. Read vapor pressure is determined at 37.8 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the presence of air, through standard laboratory procedures. Let's see the basic difference between true vapor pressure and read vapor pressure. Firstly, read vapor pressure is measured with inclusion of air. True vapor pressure is measured using an evacuated container. Secondly, read vapor pressure replicates the condition in which petroleum products are actually stored in contact with atmospheric air. Thirdly, read vapor pressure is about 6% less than true vapor pressure. Fourthly, RVP can be taken at a single temperature while TVP can be measured at different temperatures. Read vapor pressure is one of the most common methods of measuring vapor pressure of petroleum products. It gives a measure of the inherent tendency of a product to evaporate. The flammable range is the concentration range lying between the lower and upper flammability range. Mists can form flammable mixtures below their flash points. Bigger the fixed/cone roof tank is, the more vulnerable it is to failure from overpressure. It should be ensured that vents, flame arresters and other mesh screens are regularly inspected to ensure that they are clear of rags, rust, ice, tissues, wax, polymer and other debris. Potential source of ignition shall be kept away from the storage tanks. Bund or dike should contain at least the capacity of the largest tank within the bund or dike. Incompatible chemicals should not be stored in tanks within same bund or dike. Valves on roof drain should be kept open at all times. A tank with a leaking internal drain should be taken out of service as soon as practicable for repair. Violent foaming action caused by the vaporization of water will result in a froth over, also known as boil over. Keep the contents of tanks below 93 degrees Celsius, or 200 degrees Fahrenheit, to prevent this occurrence. 1 unit of water produces 1,600 units of vapor at 100 degrees Celsius, or 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and atmospheric pressure. Drain off frequently but never leave a tank unattended when draining off water. Electrostatic accumulation in liquids is significant unless conductivity exceeds 50 ps per meter or resistivity less than 2 trillion ohm per cm. Chemical is handled in earth/grounded conductive containers. Larger electrostatic charges are obtained with filters, pumps, lower conductivity liquids, smaller diameter pipes, presence of water and particulate matter, splash filling, increased velocity/flow rate. Static electricity discharge with presence of flammable atmosphere causes danger of fire and explosion. Earth or ground and bond all equipment and containers to prevent static charge build-up. Remember, you cannot see a static charge build-up. It is too late when a spark is produced. Observe your tank operating procedures and report all incidents of static electricity. Switch loading is a potentially hazardous operation. Do not use mobile phones where they are prohibited. If they are allowed, avoid being distracted and focus on the task at hand. Remember, there are many potential sources of ignition that must be strictly controlled, including diesel-driven equipment. For high-risk products, in the flammable range and low conductivity 50 ps/m, follow strict procedures for loading, gauging and sampling. Do not modify procedures or equipment without authorization through the management of change procedure. Do not splash fill. Mists can form flammable mixture below flash point. Do not remove loading pipes or take samples from containers immediately after completion of filling. Wait the required relaxation time. Beware of filters, water, line blowing that increases static buildup. Elimination of flammable mixture, e.g. through inert atmosphere, removes the static problem. Ensure the end pipe configuration in top loading touches the bottom of the compartment to avoid splash filling. Wear the correct personal protective equipment when handling hazardous products and chemicals. Check that the right product will go into the right tank before unloading commences through sampling, documentation, and labeling. A ship/shore bonding cable is not effective as a safety device and may even be dangerous. A ship/shore bonding cable thus shall not be used. Use an insulating flange or a single length of non-conducting hose to ensure electrical discontinuity between ship and shore, as required by ISCOD. Stray currents and static electricity are different hazards that require different preventative measures. The magnitude of the pressure surge depends on the closure time of the valve. That in turn depends upon the design of the valve. Emergency release coupling must only be released if the isolating ball valves are shut first. The integrity of the interlock mechanism must be therefore guaranteed. Inert gas systems must remain fully operational during the discharge of cargo from ships. Critical items associated with the safe operation of storage tanks shall be formally checked by the operator on a regular basis. In the case of bottom loading, unless there is an earthed conducting rod from the top to the bottom of the compartment, giving an electrical effect similar to the fill pipe, there is an increased possibility of electrostatic discharge, and so the loading velocities are reduced. The first task when a tank truck comes for loading. Firstly, earth or ground and bond tanker or road truck, equipment and containers to prevent static charge build-up. Following loading activities that can cause a static electricity hazard. 1. Splash filling. 2. Switch loading. 3. Sampling, dipping and taking temperatures, so keep a check. The loading bays should be equipped with alternative escape routes with emergency stop buttons and an additional button located remote from the rack, approximately 30 meters or 98 feet away. Isolation valves should be located where they can be easily and safely reached under fire conditions, or preferably each product line should be equipped with an emergency isolation valve that can be operated by a single switch from a remote location. The emergency system should be designed to fail safe, that is, valves close in the event of air or power failure. Ensure road trucks ready to load are parked at a safe distance from the gantry and their movement is strictly controlled by the supervisor.